Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A. And this is going to be my weekly garden tour, my garden walk, my garden update. But we're going to see if we can do this without my camera overheating because it is warm today. We are in the point of the season where the tomatoes and the peppers are really starting to come in, but not a lot of things are changing beyond that. I'll still show you most of what's going on, but a lot of it is just the explosion of growth in the summer crops, and I'm excited about it. Now, I will point out over here in the nursery area that nothing is really growing in the nursery pots. We've still got the sunflowers that are going, and we've got this dwarf tomato and some basil that are doing okay, but the spinach and the okra that I've been trying to sprout over here, it's just not doing much of anything. So I'm kind of just going to give up on that for now. But that's okay. Otherwise, I'm going to take you this way so we can get a good view of the pumpkins that are starting to really take off. I am battling some pest pressure, but overall we're doing okay. Along with these giant ground cherries. They are just so tall, and I don't know if it's just because they're reaching for sunlight, because yeah, they're really floppy compared to what I have grown in the past, but they're producing. And I did plant where the candy roaster used to be, did plant some beans, and as you can see, they are starting to come up right there. They are some kind of red vining bean. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head what it is, but they're starting to come up. And everything in pots over here is doing pretty well. I'm not going to go through and show each of them, but just know that this area is thriving and smells continuously of dill. Before I jump to the beds, I just want to show off, first of all, how much this grape plant is vining, and the fact that the new grape plants are looking really good. So I am hopeful that they are going to establish themselves. I just need to figure out what to do with the two that are just sticks right now. But I am excited to see this whole fence line at some point just covered in vines of various fruit types. Those kiwi plants down there, they're just reaching. I think I might have to pull them off of the neighbor's fence just a little bit. But oh well. But if we go back here, hey, we've got a little monarch caterpillar right there. Just chomping away. This is why I leave this one blooming. I don't care if my carrots go to seed, because we get all those kind of lovelies that come in. But I have been pulling carrots out of this bed, just depending on what I'm cooking and what looks like it's ready to pull. That's what I'm pulling out of there right now. So I'm getting a nice variety of things. And it looks like I need to come and harvest some eggplants. Yeah, some of them are a little over. Haven't seen any tomatoes on that dwarf plant yet. And there's maybe like 3 or 4 garlic left in this, but the zucchini plant has just flopped over in it. I did have to pull one of these plants out already, and I'm guessing the rest of them will happen shortly, but it does look like I got one baby zucchini in there. And then this one's just flopping this direction. It's not looking the greatest, but I'm gonna leave it for now. But honestly, all of these tomato plants aren't looking the best. I keep hoping, but some of these are starting to come in really nice. So it might have grown out of whatever the heck was going on, but I don't know if I'm gonna get any really good fruit off of any of these plants. But I kind of am just leaving them, so maybe they'll pull out whatever is in the soil causing all of this. So yeah, this I'm excited about. I told you last time that I had put beans in here and I wasn't seeing anything come up. But hey, the beans are starting to come up, and you can see some onions that got missed. They must have been really, really tiny, but they're coming back up. So that is fun. I have gone through and I've started pulling out tomato plants and doing some pretty hard prune, even though you can't really tell in this bush here. But I'm just trying to get most of the disease out of the beds, because there are some of them that were starting to show signs of real distress. So I just started pulling things. I'm still hoping I'll get a decent crop of tomatoes. I'm just getting 1 or 2 right now and then putting them in the freezer. I really need a new batch of of salsa. So I just need enough for a batch of salsa. That's really all I need. And I am attempting to make tomato sandwiches every now and then, but nothing too epic yet. But I do want to show off that corner. Those flowers are just looking lovely. But as you can see, the squashes are now trying to take over the other side of the garden. I'm going to have to make sure that these guys don't try to climb the tomatoes. But yeah, they're just making their way through the beds. Like, they just don't care. So harvesting from these guys right here, and now kind of starting these guys right here, even though this bed doesn't really look the greatest, has been interesting, especially that back one over there as well. I'm gonna have to be a little bit more mindful next year on how I plant this. But from now, given how my tomatoes aren't doing as great as I want them to do, I'm kind of okay with how aggressive these squash have gotten. It's just a sea of squash leaves. You can see it coming out through these tomatoes too. So yeah, here is my spicy pepper bed, and as you can see, I have some jalapenos I need to come through and harvest. Some of these have been sun scalded and things like that. I'll just use off of those what I can. And at some point, I need to be adventurous and see what's happening with those potatoes. Ooh, got some squash I need to come in harvest as well. And as you can see, we've got the sweet pepper bed I've had to pull a few of the squash plants over here as well, and that's really opened up for these peppers to start taking off. And every now and then I will find a cucumber, because there is a cucumber plant amid all of these squash vines, if you can believe that. I had hoped that the cucumber would go up this trellis. They never seem to do what I expect them to do. They do the exact opposite. But yeah, that's over here. And I will show you over by the deck. So over here, my tomatoes have kind of started flopping over top of my basil. You can still kind of see my pepper plant here, but the rest of it is just like blop. My trellises just kind of gave up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm still finding fruit on this. This is actually one of the good sections of tomato plants, so I'm happy about that. Otherwise, we've got a few beets left that at some point I need to come through and harvest. And these beans, I haven't found any beans actually on these plants yet, but the runner beans are starting to go up the trellis, and these bush beans are really bushing out. You can kind of see these ones over here. That cabbage just looks absolutely gorgeous. Out of place, but gorgeous. And at some point, I think I'm gonna get peppers and tomatoes off these fat guys. But overall, it's the spaghetti squash. Once again, it's a squash that is just taking over. We do have some runner beans on the back trellis there that seem to be really happy right now too. There is a tomato plant in there, and there was spinach. I don't think the spinach is doing well, and the tomato plant is just like, I'm here, but I'm probably not gonna do much. So that's this area. And I did come through the other day and fertilize the blueberry plants. So I'm hoping those guys start bouncing back a little bit. But yeah, that is just the garden as it stands right now in all of its heat loving, overgrown craziness. I will admit the swing of temperatures back and forth, even just this past week, has been absolutely crazy. We have also gotten about 2 inches of rain, which we greatly appreciate. But this is the garden. I mean, she's not anything epic right now, but she's producing. I am going through squashes like crazy, like zucchini. I have started getting some butternut squashes and things like that. It's a little early for them, but for whatever reason, they're ripening, so I'm taking them. But like I said, I'm still really waiting for those tomatoes. We're not getting them quite the way we usually do. In fact, they're a little late right now, so I think just the variant of weather right now is hindering them a little bit. But if you would like to see how my garden continues to change as we go into the fall season, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell to do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have an Instagram and Threads account where I like to show off how I'm preserving the harvest or what I'm pulling in, so you can check me out over there. But my camera is starting to overheat, so I'm going to call it here, and I hope I will see you guys again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces.